It's Friday, the 21st of October, 1966. A crowd gathers at the Cuckoo's Nest in Tala, Dublin. They're there for the launch of a new record on the Pie label. The record is by Johnny McEvoy, a young folk singer from Banagher in County Offaly. By mid-November, this single would claim the #1 spot in the Irish charts. This is the story of Muirsheen Durkin. So where did Johnny McEvoy find the ballad? Well, the record label informed music lovers that Muirsheen Durkin was sourced from Colm O'Loughlin's songbook, a reference to more Irish street ballads, a jam-packed book of songs collected by Colm O'Loughlin, a Dublin-based musician and printer who hailed from Kilkenny. It's not as if O'Loughlin's book had been around for a long time. Its official launch was on St. Valentine's Day, 1966. Unfortunately, more Irish street ballads did not include any background information on Muirsheen Durkin, so everyone just assumed that it was just another traditional ballad written by the infamous Anon. True, but only partly. On the 19th of November 1966, the Dublin Evening Herald published a very interesting letter from O'Loughlin's own hand, which shed more light on the origins of the ballad. Casting his mind back, Colm O'Loughlin had this to say.
As a small boy, in the year 1901, I spent a long holiday with my granduncle, Matthew O'Keefe, wholesale tobacconist in Waterford City. His charge hand was Willie Hayes, from the Fiddown district, and from him I learnt the tune and the one verse.
This verse, "Goodbye Muirsheen Durkin, sure I'm sick and tired of workin'," was used by Johnny McEvoy as a chorus. While preparing his book for publication, O'Loughlin asked a number of ballad singers if they could remember any more verses of Muirsheen. For the most part, his request was in vain, so O'Loughlin himself composed another 2 verses, the first of which began, "In the days I went a courtin', I was never tired resortin'," and the second, "I've courted girls in Blarney, in Kinturk and in Killarney," about an Irishman who'd prefer to look for gold in California than dig potatoes at home. O'Loughlin correctly stated that the tune which accompanied Muirsheen Durkin was closely related to an old Irish reel called "The Pretty Girls of Mayo." Here it is. The question remains, however, who wrote the last verse to Johnny McEvoy's hit? The one beginning with, "Goodbye to all the boys at home, I'm sailing far across the foam." Once again, the intrepid Colm O'Loughlin had the answer, saying that this verse had been recently composed by Michael Francis Owens, a folk singer from Dublin. Owens, nicknamed Jesse by his father after the American athlete Jesse Owens, subsequently became a close friend of Johnny McEvoy.
How many of you who are interested in ballads ever thought that Muirsheen would be a hit?
Asked the bewildered O'Loughlin. interviewed by the Herald in January 1988. Johnny McEvoy told Thomas Myler that after all these years, people still expected him to sing it at his concerts. "But you've got to please the public," said Johnny, "and that's what it's all about." And so ends the story of Muirsheen Durkin. In the days I went a courtin', I was never tired resortin' to the alehouse or the playhouse, or many's the house beside. I told me brother Seamus I'd go off and go right famous, and before I'd come back again I'd roam the world wide. So goodbye Muirsheen Durkin, sure I'm sick and tired of working. No more I'll dig the parades, no longer I'll be fooled. Sure as my name is Carney, I'll be off to California. Instead of digging parades, I'll be digging lumps of gold. I've courted girls in Blarney, in Kinturk and in Killarney, in Passage and in Queenstown, that is the Cove of Cork. Goodbye to all this pleasure, I'm going to take me leisure, and the next time you will hear from me is a letter from New York. So goodbye Muirsheen Durkin, I'm sick and tired of working. No more I'll dig the parades, no longer I'll be fooled. Sure as my name is Carney, I'll be off to California. Instead of digging parades, I'll be digging lumps of gold. Goodbye to all the boys at home, I'm sailing far across the foam to try and make me fortune in far America. There's gold and money plenty for the poor and for the gentry, and when I come back again I never more will stray. Goodbye Muirsheen Durkin, I'm sick and tired of working. No more I'll dig the parades, no longer I'll be fooled. Sure as my name is Carney, I'll be off to California. Instead of digging parades, I'll be digging lumps of gold. Instead of digging parades, I'll be digging lumps of gold.